Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So today I'd like to share with you that Wing Chun must reform now. Yes, is this a revolution type of reform? Because if Wing Chun is not reformed today, there is no future. Technically, we already know. We know enough to be able to practice it. So I like to share with you something really important so you see the full picture on what is going on in terms of Chinese Kung Fu. Now, I have many friends around the world, in Europe, in America, in Asia. Many of our friends told me I'm a pain in their butt because every so many years I'm going to release something which is shock them. And with all these friends, lately I send them two songs. One is Tajay's I Walk Alone. So the lyrics of the song is what I'm sending to them. Put all your angels on the edge. Keep all the roses. I'm not dead. I left a thorn under your bed. I never gone. Go tell the world I'm still around. I didn't fly. I'm coming down. You are the wind, the only sound. Whisper to my heart when hope is torn apart. So every few years, I left a thorn under people's bed so that they don't sleep and die in the cold of winter. That's why I'm a pain in the butt of all these friends who wrote me. So I send them the song. Another song I send them is this. Then he'll sometimes when we touch. Okay, so the lyrics say, you ask me if I love you, and I choke on my reply. I'd rather hurt you honestly than mislead you with a lie. At times, I would like to break you and drag you to your knees. At times, I would like to break through and hold you endlessly. At times, I understand you and I know how hard you try. So this is the two songs I send to all these friends. Okay, they are good friends, but they know I'm really annoying. Okay, but then I send them the song to tell them why I am so annoying, because I simply don't want you to die. Sleep in the winter. You need to wake up. Now, so for past 2 weeks, I have released the book Decoding Wing Chun. And it is this message he sent me yesterday inspired me to share this video with you. So listen carefully, okay? I am no joking. We need to help each other. Do I understand people? I do. At times, I understand you and I know how hard you try. The issue is if you don't see things clearly, I rather to be the pain in the ass to leave torn under the bed, because you can sleep and doze off and you never wake up. That's how serious it is now for Wing Chun. Now, so let's look into details on what is the conversation. So I asked him, how do you feel after knowing the reality of Wing Chun? So the friend said it is liberating. So I asked, in what way? So he said, because I always wonder if there was more. I always seems like something was missing. Finally, to know there was is enlightening. And this is, he said, the breathing and how important, okay, this person can take a full punch to the stomach and rib. My dad told me about it, caused him to train with him. I saw him do it at the workshop several years ago. His student told me he does it with breathing, but he doesn't do it the hard way. It's done with soft breathing, but he doesn't teach it to anyone. That is the thing with this stuff. It is a big secret. What you are doing is right. It is about time people are lied to and shown the truth at. That's revelation. That's what I mean when I say that. So this is my reply to him. Great. And taking punch is common in boxing and kyokushin real fight. The Chinese demo with student is just a demo to make it magic. So today I want to open the truth to you on the real Chinese Kung Fu training. And also tell you what is fake, what is just show business. Okay. It is very important for you because you invest your time. It is very important for you because if you have a school, I'm sure you want to be the best school. You want to really share what you put your time into. The issue is that if you don't understand what I'm going to share with you, all your effort is wasted. Not because you are not a good person. It is because the direction given to you is the wrong direction. So believe me when I say this, at times I understand you and I know how hard you try. Well, why do I know all this? Of course, I am in your position too. Decades ago, when I was a young rookie engineer in Silicon Valley, I speak with one of the gurus in design in Silicon Valley. I'm very lucky to be able to work under him. I asked him a question. I said, "Sir, how come you know so much and you know everything you have the insight?" He told me this. He said that the reason he know is because he F up much, much more than most people. He tried, he screwed up more than most people. So in his own word, it is he's saying that four-letter word. I know this because I F up and I have to bite the bullets. Okay. So we are the same. Nobody is God, nobody is genius here. We all have to stand on the ground, or else we don't have a future. So, in the past 1 week or so, yesterday, this is the last one I share, what went wrong with Wing Chun in past 160 years and how to fix it. All the data is there. What is missing in the past 160 years is little. It's really, really serious, okay? It's really, really damaging. You need to take that back to fix it. And yet, for past 100 years, none see it and keeping still marching on their way. So as in all these videos I share with you in past 2 weeks or so, up to this one, that I get everybody's and show in evidence what's going on. The problem is this: core strength. You see, in the past 30 years, there is no core strength training. You look at into your Cham Kyu Biuji, your Wooden Dummy, your Chi Sao, there is none there. And why is that core strength important? Well, for fighter, the core serves as your foundations of strength, power, and stability. Every time you throw a punch, throw a kick, go for a takedown, or find yourself in the clinch, high amount of force are being transferred to your core. If your core isn't strong, durable, and sturdy, you will leak force, meaning you will break down. Okay. Now look at like in MMA, why core training is important for MMA fighter. The core muscles stiffen to secure the spine as well as transfer the force from lower part of body to upper body while making movement. The core is the key of throwing powerful strike. The MMA fighter with a weak core cannot place knockout strike. This is a reality, okay? And all this core handling have to do with the muscle outside and the intra-abdominal pressure and your breathing. So that's why he said, what is intra-abdominal pressure? AIP is a concept of pressurizing your core through abdominal bracing or belly breathing. To achieve AIP, you breathe into your belly core using your diaphragm rather than your chest. We know that today. If you don't have that, you cannot play in this martial art game, in this fighting game. And yet I show to everybody for past 160 years, you don't have it. Well, if you go back to 160 years, what I circle here, the teaching of the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao, is exactly this. Exactly this, and go deeper. Okay. So this has to be reinstalled, or you don't have a function system. Well, every teacher can say, you know, I'm the best fighter. I can beat this guy, beat this guy, beat this guy. But can you train your student to be as good as you? You might be born that way, stronger, tough. So you can beat other people up, but can you train your student to be as good or better than you? Like today's science, today's MMA, that you create stars? The answer is you look into the past 130 years, that's not the case. And you know, when you're missing this part for past 130 years, you cannot do it. We know it, this clear. Okay. So that's why, again, there's breathing and so forth is important. Now, put that in your mind. If you never train your core, which is your muscle, your abdominal muscle, and your back muscle, external with your breathing, you know, which is I have shared in details in this book. You cannot do it in fighting. Now, for this thing, you have 3 levels of training. The In today's language, recovery, fitness, and the strengthening training or intensive training. At that intensive level, it is for fighting. The recover is for recovery. The fitness is you have to condition your body to have basic health there or fitness there, or else you cannot do the strengthening training. So the ancient have that 3 level of training. And I'm going to share with you today with a really real example so that you all know. You need to know all this basic as this friends here who read this Decoding Wing Chun, because that is the basic fundamental. It's like if you read physics book, then you know what is possible, what is not possible. Okay. Now, in past 130 years, at least in past 100 years, the Chinese already know it's very problematic in the Chinese Kung Fu. So even in 1930, there are a lot of Chinese who went back to China after go study in Japan or studying overseas in Europe. They know that it is problem in traditional Chinese martial art. They want to reform. At that time, those who went to college, they want to reform, as in other video I share with you, like Tang Hao, Ma Li Tang, all those people want to reform. But it never happened because, hey, you know, if benefit money making can be easily made by just make a claim that, hey, you know, I'm the son of so and so, then those are business. People don't care for what works, what doesn't work. People only care for, hey, I'm son of this guy, so, you know, I know it all, I have the secret. Until today, you trace out the Chinese Kung Fu. Wing Chun is in that path because right now you're asking question for past 160 years, 160 years until today. After the uprising, the loss of the Red Boat uprising, why is the core is not taken care of, but all hand techniques? Now, so in the past 100 years, that is a so-called demonstrating Kung Fu or show business Kung Fu exists. And in today's world, majority is the show business Kung Fu. Not to mention that after the cultural revolutions, it is all this movies, business, and of course the government always want to suppress the real thing. Why? In China, for all the history, you know that the emperor or the dictator do not want the people to have the martial, the military ability. They do not want you to go uprising against them. So fake thing is good for them. Demonstrating thing is good for them. So because of that, for past 100 years, you have all this demonstration type of Kung Fu, like this 0-inch punch. Bruce Lee do it, everybody do it, so well, I can do it too. Well, sorry, there's the demonstrations. Is that real? No, it's fake Kung Fu. You get into the fight with the Western boxer or MMA, you're going to drop that. Xi Xiaodong prove it to you. And you can see many of the fight of the DKU. Is this kind of thing useful? It's useless in the real life. So that's why this is a performance Kung Fu. Same thing with this type of stuff. People thought, oh yeah, you know, iron body. Well, have you ever seen that in past 100 years in track records? The Chinese, when they go to the Thailand to fight the Thai boxing, anybody survive with their iron body or disregard of what internal whatever style they get knocked out. That tell us the truth of performance demonstration type of kung fu like this type. And then, oh, this chi and philosophy type. One guy can push 10 guys. I can fa jing. Oh, it's Taoist philosophy. In all this magic, Chinese only have qing, jing, and internal, and mysterious and too powerful. All of this are just performance stuff. Stand there and it is just like a party tricks. Okay? This is not real martial arts of the Chinese. And in fact, 100 years ago, this is a book written 1930. He said that those performance demonstrations, martial artists or the sifu always say that which style, which hand techniques can broke which hand techniques. When people using this hand techniques, you're using this hand techniques. He said the innocent kid must not trust it, must not, you have to remember, never trust those. If you do that, you will get beat up. 100 years ago, people know. All those things are just performance, party tricks. If you go with this, you know you're dead. Real Chinese martial arts. Real Chinese martial arts. As I share many times, from the, you have the base on general Qi Ji Guang. Real Chinese martial art is momentum based. Fighting is a dynamical playing the momentum game with distance, angle, and level change with all these combinations based on different type of striking and taking down and so forth. That is the bottom line. And because that is the bottom line, $460 years ago or today, do you have the core strength? Do you have the breathing and intra-abdominal pressure handling of your body? If you never train that, you know what is the outcome. That's why 1850s, this is the first thing. Here is said, you must know in your training. The first thing is your body. Like the other day in the other video, I said, do you know how to move your ass? If you want to move your ass, you have to have a strong core. You have to breathe. You have to be able to handle your intra-abdominal pressure. It's not this. You look at DKU when he go fight the the boxing guys and everything. Look at him. Okay. This kind of stuff, statically okay. Look at in the Xi Xiaodong in the China's many fight of China where people get KO. The Chinese Kung Fu guy get KO. Look at all this Tai Chi guy, philosophy, yin and yang, all just talk. You fight Xi Xiaodong, how many seconds you last? Why do you lose? You don't have the core stability. And so 100 years ago, tell you, oh, you have this hand technique, that hand technique. You're going to drop that, okay? So we know that the truth is if you don't have that that core training, it's scientific proven. So are you going to change in your Wing Chun? Are you going to wake up And again, this is not belong to any lineage. This is a part of the history of Wing Chun. You took that, you put it in your system, you just reboot your ancestors' art. It got nothing to do with, oh, this is Hendrik's lineage. This is Cho family lineage. This is Yik Gam lineage. Bullshit. This is Chinese culture. This is Wing Chun culture. It is the legacy of Wing Chun. It belongs to nobody. It doesn't belong to me. So this is a bottom line, okay? One need to know. Now, over here, I say that there are 3 levels of training. So as in my book, the Decoding Wing Chun, you have this Qi Neurosing training, fitness training, strengthening training, right? And now it mapped into the heart rate. You can track it with a fitness tracker and everything. So what you train, you know exactly what it is. You know whether you can train or not. This is the bottom line, okay? In the book, it even show you there are different type of breathing in this different type of training. Now, let's get back to this about taking blow. Take full punch. By the way, in my book there, Decoding Wing Chun, I inside there, I told people that you can take, with your core stability, you can take blow, but not in this ribs area or the kidney area or the liver area. It's known that in a real fight, you don't want to take that. So if you want to demonstration with a guy who don't have power, fine. For the real fight, even people trained, people will not want to do it. Why? A mistake you make is going to hit your liver or your kidney. You're going to go down. Okay, so there's the difference. Now, so you want to train those kind of things to be able to taking blow because you have now you have the core training. You can take blow. The Chinese have really detailed sets for that. The real thing, not demo, real thing, and it is actually following this, the Qi Neurosing training, the fitness training, and strengthening training. That's a real thing. Not like today's secret. Or I can do demo with my student. No, the real thing you can use in the real fight. But still, that have a limitation as what I said. To the strike to the ribs and all this thing which is closing to the liver and everything. Come on, okay? Nobody will do that. So today I want to share with you a real training. I'll be able to take the body, the blow of the body, the strengthening the core. So you know what is the real thing. Not in today's, oh yeah, this is Tai Chi, this is Wu Ji, this is nonsense. Now, what I'm going to share with you is the real Shaolin training prior to the burning of Shaolin in early 1900. The Shaolin Temple was burned big time, destroyed big time in early 1900 by the warlord. What I'm going to share with you here is the piece of the art, the real art of develop, condition the body from the Shaolin, which is, we know it exists and we still have the details. This person who learned it from the Shaolin prior to the destroy of Shaolin by the warlord, Chinese warlord, he is also a military man. You see, I never believe in those like invincible Tai Chi master. I don't. I never. Or the king of Wing Chun. I never. You can see that when I refer things, it's always military, military, military. You say this guy is king of Wing Chun, blah, blah, blah. Right now we know. For past 130 years, you don't even train your breathing and intra-abdominal pressure, and you lay down there in the smoke opium, then to smoke opium. How are you going to develop that? Okay. So for me is that we want a real thing, we look into the military. So this Mr. Jing Jingzhong, he is in the military. He fought in a real, there's a record there, okay? So this is the first stage, first level of training of this body conditioning, the core, the breathing, the intra-abdominal pressure when you can take blow. But still there's a limitation, okay? So this is, as in over here is the chi nourishing part in standing, okay? So, so this is the standing part, the standing part. And here you can see that it is counting breath, okay? Counting breath and the standing part and recite the Buddha's name. That is this part, chi nourishing part. And then after one handle that, it get up to the fitness part where it circulate their body, their breathing, and so forth. This is the circulate part. You have different body posture or movement, which is you want to exercise, you want to activate that part of the muscle and body. So this is the fitness part. Okay, you got the nurture chi fitness. That's how the sequence is. And then you go to the strengthening part. This is after you have developed their breathing, their intra-abdominal pressure. This is when you smash yourself. You look at like in the Kyokushin, when we do you do the kata or the kihon, you always smash yourself. Okay, hit yourself. That is the idea of this type, this level of training. Now, like also the karate, the sanchin, you use things to strike your body. You see this? The striking the body. Okay, so that is the strengthening part. And now we know the heart rate and so forth. And in the Wing Chun Inception, in the decoding Wing Chun, it gives into the details that what you can train, what you must not touch, this type of training on this level, okay? And it's always, it could be really damaging, okay? Now, that's based on science and based on ancient. So the nurture chi or recovery, the fitness, the activate the body, the strengthening of you striking yourself and using all this wooden thing to strike yourself to strengthen the body, the core better. And then the massage part. Because if you strike your body and so forth, you might have a stagnations of energy or blood flow and so forth, so forth. You have the massage, and that massage part bring you back to the chi nourishing, bring you back to the fitness and chi nourishing. So a real thing is like that. So the reason why the Decoding Wing Chun book is so important is because you want to know all this basic. And you know, if somebody told you that, oh, I have this secret kung fu, this secret sets, like this sets, you know the sequence of it is possible or not. You know what to look for. You know what to look for. That's why I wrote this Decoding Wing Chun, and that's why this friend saying this breathing stuff. Well, after you read that, you know that the real training, real kung fu of Chinese is like this. Level by level, state by state. And you need a teacher to carry you. And with the Decoding Wing Chun now, you know the different states. What you have to you expect, you know what you get into, you know by today's science whether you should train in it or not, because we have a heart rate measurement and meds and everything. We have today's medicines to know that whether we can do it or not. Everybody is different. So that's the real thing. So all this real thing is not this. It's not this. It's not this. It's not all this kind of thing where it's just demo. You believe that? You believe that? You just go to a weekend seminar and then, a guy talk philosophy with you and then teach you a little bit how, you push me and I have this chi. Come on. Even with a real teacher, how long do you think a person need to take for daily training and watch by a teacher to really just learn the sets, be able to perform the basic, to develop the fundamental? 3 months, daily life, daily. And now we have the scientific measurement of your heart rate and heart rate variability and all different type of stuff. We pinpoint your breathing, your intra-abdominal pressure, where if you have sickness, you must not do it because the pressure will rise and all kind of stuff. If you're holding your breath, you got to get into this and that. That's why, again, I wrote the Decoding Wing Chun. That's why our friends say it is liberating. There is no magic. Everything is hard work, scientific. There is no such thing as this kind of thing. There's no such thing as this kind of thing. There's no such thing as this kind of thing. Or hand techniques. So, today with this, you see the real thing. You want to have a real thing? This is a real thing. All this instruction have all the details. Now, this is not everybody's piece of cake. You need a teacher. It's dangerous shit. It's really dangerous, okay? And because we know scientifically it is dangerous. If you just jump yourself to the strengthening training, and you need a teacher who have experience to handle that. So this is what I like to share with you. You want to have a real thing? We know what is the real thing. We know what you bullshit too, okay? So back to the first thing I said, yeah, I'm a pain in the ass. Why am I be a pain in the ass? Because many things can go wrong. We need to be humanity, have a humanity to care for people, or else we are cheating, or else we are bullshitting, or else we are selling snake oil. Usually people will practice this like this. You come see me and I show you a tricks, and then I make it so mysterious and I'm so advanced, and I still started telling you my Sifu is this, my grandmaster is this. But I'll never even tell my student, teach my student a bit of this thing. So my student always keeping respect me like God. That is the practice of performance martial art or kung fu or demo kung fu for past 100 years. You get up to the ring with a Thai boxer, to the MMA in minutes, not even minutes, seconds, you get KO. Because you don't have anything, you just make believe, pretend. And that's why I open this thing up. I'm a pain in the ass. Yes, I'm the bad guy. I'm the Darth Vader, as somebody said, half man, half machine. And I turn myself into the dark side. All this is just one thing, as what I share with you. Of course, I F up, I screw up so much. And I just hope that you guys out there don't get into that path. I'm just plain lucky that I have met the teacher, I have the financial to get myself out of that thing. Okay? Or else, what happened to you? That's why I continue to say it again and again. The reason why people get poor, go homeless is because mostly since ancient Chinese, in the history, it is saying that if one is sick, not be able to make a living, that is where the entire thing going down, the family going down, everything go wrong. Because you lose your health, you cannot work, you cannot make a living, and it becomes a burden for the family, and everything crash, everything break down. And Kung Fu is to teach you the first thing to have a healthy body. To secure your breathing, your core, your intra-abdominal pressure, as there's 3 levels of training. So in this missing thing here, there are 3 levels. And with this 3 levels, you know what you should do, you're not supposed to touch. That is Chinese Kung Fu. That's Wing Chun Kung Fu. It's not to teach you go being gung-ho, arrogance, keeping saying, well, talk with your hand, not talk with your mouth. No. It's to really know this. Now, if you don't handle this core properly, okay, as I laying down this, and as you can see in Shaolin, real Shaolin, they go through all this thing. You're going to cause problem to your body. And as what I share with you, even people who have developed that, oh yeah, you know, I pound myself. But you still don't go playing macho that you think you can take the body shot to the liver or the kidney. You better go ward it off with your elbow. Okay? Don't take it, because so at one point I met a Chinese martial art teacher who is really good that the body can take hit. I asked him, I said, will you be able to take an elbow or a elbow in the, if you fought with a Thai boxer? He told me this, he said, Hendrik, I'd rather not, because those are dangerous shit, okay? Those are actually meeting boundary condition, limits with limits. You know what is the momentum countdown with the elbow, with the elbow? You know how much momentum, how much inputs there? How is the core can take that? So he told me, point blank, Hendrik, I will not rather do it. In demo, yes, but in the real life, I will not do it. I will not take that risk. Why should I take that risk? Am I idiot? That's what he told me. So I tell you this, okay? So back to the I'm the pain of the ass of everybody, every Wing Chuners. Get your core straight, not your hand techniques. It doesn't work. The entire thing is how your core, how strong is your core? Like you see the Shaolin thing I shared, I opened up for you every state by state details, kind of give you a picture. Okay? It is not hand techniques. And you know those, the core development and all this can cash in bank, even in today's science. It can stand tall, stand solid. So this is what I like to share with you. I know your world might collapse. But if you are in the opium dream, okay, smoking opium, have a dream, you better wake up. Sure, wake up is unpleasant, but you can quit that. Here on, you live in a real world, solid world. And here on, you can expect to have a proper living. You might not reach like a multi-billionaire Bill Gates, but you can live really comfortably because you base everything on reality, not in that opium dream. Okay? You must not get there. Why our ancestor in the red boat go uprising against the Qing? Why is in the red boat 1850 we go uprising against the Qing? Because the Qing is selling opium to the people. The people is suffering. That's why the Wing Chun ancestor, like, and with the Hong Seng Choi Le Fat ancestor go uprising against the Qing, want to overthrow it because the people suffer. And after that, the Hong Seng Choi Le Fat have a rule. You don't touch those kind of opium stuff. But the Wing Chun people don't. After the uprising, as what I mentioned last time, the real anti-Qing Wing Chun ancestor go hiding, or they die, sacrifice, or they go overseas. Whoever later, because they need to have a living, they surrender to the Qing, we have no blame on them because people need to live. But when you start to womanizing all this opium stuff, gambling stuff, you know that the art is no longer there. That's why you see, look at the Hong Seng Choi Le Fat history. They're always very strict. You must not touch that. Why? If you touch that, you cannot train your core. So this is to share with you. You all can scream at Hendrik is a bad guy, blah, blah, blah. You curse at me, fine. It doesn't matter. What matters is, as yesterday, I just tell somebody in Asia, I rather tell you and piss you off than I regret I don't tell you when something go wrong in your life. Okay? You hate me because I piss you off, okay. That is better than if you go down, you get sick because of health issue, you're going down and you're going to ruin your entire life with it. And that is not okay for me. I will regret, why don't I tell you beforehand that you can get into those troubles so you'll be able to avoid that. Today, you can see many people is homeless. Okay. So many times I don't even dare. Like only last week, a lady, she said she want to start a group here in San Jose to help the homeless people. And I told her flat. I said, you know what? I see so many that I know my heart is burning, want to help, but I am not capable to help. That is how hurt it is. You know that thing is going to go down, but you cannot help because you don't have the power, you don't have the finance. If I'm a multi-billionaire, I'll help you there. But I don't. So right now, I only can be what? A pain in the ass for everybody. Please don't go there. Please don't go there. Because you know it's going to cause trouble for your life. And I cannot live your life. Nobody can live your life. Only you can live your life. So why do you want to go there? Of course, your freedom, but I rather say what I need to say.